what the flock. So welcome to the wonderful world of the flock. If you're a new flocker, thank you so much for joining us today. If you're an experienced flocker, great. And we always have much more to offer you on our other service, which is Get Flocked, which is our shop that we sell things at, because this is not just a place for us to talk to you, we also have a shop. So we've got Get Flocked, and we also have the Flock Online, which is available at theflockonline.co.nz. So if anything that we're doing here today interests you, check us out at those two locations, and links for those are down below, because that's the best way to find out more about us. Now, it's time to remind you, right up front so we don't forget, thank you for watching. And also, if you are not, could you please go ahead and click down below to subscribe, and then click the notification bell so that you know that we're here. And if you don't want to subscribe, we get it, but please do leave us a like and a comment. Every little bit helps, right?
Yes.
Right, and the more of you that there are, the more we get to do. So, Emily, what do we have to tell people about today? Do you remember? I feel like I rattled it off at you in 10 seconds before we started with no notes.
Yeah.
Hit it.
A little.
Oh, okay. I did this to her. Yes.
Knit-alongs.
Yes, I got Emily.
Flocktober.
This is Flocktober, yes?
Knitting.
Knitting.
That's what we're talking about?
Yes. Yarn. Amazement. So good. We're so good at this. Okay, so we're going to give you some updates on our Flocktober projects and our non-Flocktober projects. I've got another new finished object to show off, Kelsey Pretty's.
It's very cool.
Thank you. I'm madly in love, and we will tell you all about this because this pattern is coming out very, very soon, and you will be able to buy it. So, let's take a little break. We'll gather ourselves, have a sip of water, have some coffee, whatever, and we'll be right back with you. Do it. Emily.
Yes.
What are you working on, and what have you finished, and what are you knitting next?
Yes.
Actually, what are you knitting next is going to be in a separate segment.
Oh, wow. There's a few things.
Oh, there's things to do
advance.
before. Okay, oh, whoa. Woo! Emily, coming in hot.
We're going.
Yeah, no, same. Hit me, Emily.
Okay, so I'm currently making Ethan's strip cowl, which my brain doesn't like to process the name of this because it's stripes, but it's the strip. And every time I try to say it, there's like a battle internally, and you don't even know which one comes out. So
I'm excited to find out every time.
yeah.
Now.
So this is what I'm making. This is the finished Ethan's
Yay!
finished one. So I am using yarn floozy and older base.
Yeah, staple 4
Yeah.
in tourmaline.
Yes, and then some hedgehog minis.
So cute.
So I have
Coming
had
out very Emily colored.
Yes, it is. I'm a little sad that the minis kind of look like they're all the same one, but I think that's just because I picked ones that have all the colours.
Yeah.
So.
Whoopsie doodles.
Never mind. But yeah, that's what I'm knitting at the moment. So that's just some stockinette and a little tubey.
Yeah, very cute.
Easy TV knitting and knit group knitting.
Now, I heard that you had to go down a couple needle sizes.
Yes, I've been having some trouble getting the tension right, and I think it's a combination of things because I'm using metal needles that I don't normally use and short tip metal needles that I don't normally use.
I'm also using those. I love them.
The first time round I tried doing weave and Steven, and that was a bad thing for me because it went all loosey-goosey and not good. So I'm back to just weaving in the ends like I normally would if I change colours.
Great.
And yeah, I think because it's two different bases, they're fighting each other a little bit.
Yeah, that does happen.
So yeah, I'm happier now with the fabric after going down a couple sizes because I felt like yours was very like neat and tight and dainty.
Yes.
And mine was not that.
I do tend to be a rather neat and tight knitter though, so it's not always great to judge someone else's knitting off of my knitting.
But I think like the changes I've made,
it looks really good
it's
though.
getting better. Yeah.
And this is kind of a new thing. It's not like you've been doing a lot of this small circumference on these 40 centimeter needles. Like you're doing a lot of learning while you're also knitting something relatively easy, which is the point of these patterns that I make. Just for the record, everyone, I'm making eye contact with the audience at home.
I am loving the colors.
Okay, yeah, I am also loving the colors.
So I'm excited to get that finished.
Now, dare I ask, are the instructions actually clear?
Yes.
Great, because I didn't have this one test knit. I did have it tech edited, just not test knit.
Yeah.
So that's good. You're able to make the thing the way it's supposed to be made from my instructions.
Yes. And I watched your video on the Flock Online from the Ladies Lunch Date knit-along.
Yeah.
For my provisional cast-on.
Yay. I'm going to be doing... tomorrow, a new crochet provisional cast-on video goes live.
Exciting.
I know. To go with the cowl pattern that I released. I know.
Because also, spoilers, you're going to use a similar technique in the knit-along.
Yes, you are. And I'm going to make new videos using Emily's cowl for the knit-along and for this. Oh, look at us go. Oh my god. So good.
And so I also, because we had a long weekend.
Pull it out, pull it out, pull it out.
I made a collar.
Okay. I want to be clear with everyone at home. On paper, Emily said to me, bulky weight midsummer collar. And I thought to myself, that's the fucking craziest thing I've ever heard, and not in a good way. And then I thought to myself, you know what, Ethan? Emily and you don't have the same taste, but you often like what Emily is wearing and doing for Emily. So then what happened, right? I unclenched and was like, Emily, be yourself. Be the most yourself you can be. And you know what?
I made this.
Yeah, and it's already paid off because someone came in today and bought the yarn to make one. And I was standing here being like, you know what, Ethan? You were right just to let Emily be herself. I feel very good about my choices.
It needs blocking, so it's like kinking up a little bit.
Yeah,
but I didn't want to block it yet.
It's gonna grow as well. It's gonna be so, it's already very cute. It's gonna get cuter. Now, what is this pattern?
This is called Louis Louis.
Mm-hmm.
The Louis Louis collar, as in Louis the 14th.
Yeah, Louis Louis. Louis le 14e.
I can't remember the designer's name.
She's a Japanese designer, and we will put the links to this below. So don't worry that we're not getting it right now. It'll be underneath.
And it was my first time doing, so I did I-cord, and then I
did an I-cord bind off,
and then did more I-cord. So that was fun.
I love that technique.
Yeah.
And the striping in the spin cycle. So this was knit in spin cycle plump.
Yes.
And if you want to make a Louis Louis cowl like Emily's, you're going to need 2 skeins of spin cycle plump.
And you will have some left over.
You will have some left over, which is great because next week my plump off hat is coming.
Yes.
And
it just
possibly the cowl, but I think the collar is cuter than the cowl I've designed. But that's just this isn't for me, but it's very cute on you. I mean, now I'm kind of like trying to figure out how to make it work in my wardrobe, and I'm feeling crazy.
Stay ready.
Not no. I might have commissioned Emily to make me a collar. Yeah. That is actually my first thought.
5G.
Sane and normal.
Totally.
Amazing. So, you've been wildly productive. What have you got planned to still get done before the knit along, which is going to be our final segment today, everyone?
Yes. So I've done a bunch more on my Bella Rose shawl. I've been kind of flitting between these 3 projects, which I actually quite like, because if you get sick of one, you can just put it down, do something else for a bit, and then...
I had a similar experience this weekend, so I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Same thing happened, and I got a lot done.
And like, I got to a point on this where I was like, oh, I'm going to finish this. So then I like focused on this one. But yeah, it's quite good to just do bits of it, and then you come back to it and there's more done, and it seems like it takes no time at all.
Exactly.
So I've got my Bella Rose shawl, which is in yellow, or sunflower, actually 4-ply. And I also want to try and make the tessellated vest before the cowl.
Yeah, I mean, I
have like 3.5 weeks ish.
Honestly, I'm excited for you to try, and I'm gonna have to ask you to document this so that we can put it up so this is gonna go up into the Flock online. I'm gonna have Emily document her process probably under the explorations of knitting section. So if you're a Flock online member, I'm gonna get Emily to document her process of working through the tessellated vest, and I'll take what she produces, and I'll turn it into a guided knit along for all of you at home. Because for the Andrea Mowry patterns, I think that part of the joy of it is making it along with people.
Yes.
Because we can all make them. They're very accessible patterns.
Yeah.
And so the guided knit alongs are like having a friend there, holding your hand and making it with you, but you get to work at your pace. So I think it's a really good thing. I'm really glad. I'm excited.
And like, even if I don't get it 100% finished in time, it'll be another resting project.
Yeah.
For
totally.
Like, so that I have something else to work on. So that's my
I'm
plan.
also kind of excited because I got to do some of the selecting of the yarn for this for you, and so I'm really excited to see how it comes out.
And I'm also very excited now that I've made this. My plans have solidified in my brain.
Which is the best thing that's happened.
Yeah.
Because we were verging on Ethan getting this far away from Emily's face and screaming.
So now that I have this, I want to use my other because I have some midsummer dyed in the wool to make a pressed flowers cardigan.
So cute.
And then I can wear this over that and just wardrobe playing at
Great.
So that is going to happen at the same time, overlap. I don't know.
Great. So Emily's Spin Cycle capsule
gonna be
wardrobe
busy.
is well underway, and the
Yes.
good news is this week. So sorry. On Friday this week in the Flock online, a capsule wardrobe planning sheet is actually going live. So
And I mean, if your capsule wardrobe does not include a collar, what are you even doing?
mine usually includes a cowl and a shawl, not a collar, but we might have to make some revisions. Coming to you live.
Yeah.
Great.
Keeps your shoulders warm.
Amazing. So we'll come back to your next project, which is going to be our knit-alongs. Emily and I are running separate ones. We're going to go over this more thoroughly at the end. Thank God, because we've been doing a terrible job telling you all about it. Honestly.
What are we even doing?
I don't know. So I missed the initial upsurge in outrage over the original Clue one. And the reason that I missed it is I don't look at any of this stuff. So I had almost finished the original Clue one by the time all of this occurred, and I chose not to rip back. Mine looks like a windmill inside of a square, and that's it, because I very carefully followed the color instructions and handed my desires off to a very talented dyer, the wildly talented Katrine, who I think people are going to start to get tired of me talking about yarn floozy all the time. But the problem is I had never worked a full project in Katrine's yarn, so I didn't know why everyone was so obsessed with it. And the problem is now I do know, and I can articulate it, and I have a clear picture of why I love it so much, and I totally get it. And all I can say is I wish I had started. I'm simultaneously glad I didn't start knitting with it sooner, and also wish I had started knitting with it sooner, because
Now you want all the things?
yeah, most hand-dyed yarn does not appeal to me. I want to be clear. There's not a lot of it that I love. There are very specific things about what Katrine does that I very much love. I love the tonality of the speckles. I love the fact that everything has this kind of antiqued hue to it, but none of the colors lose their vibrancy or interest. And frankly, I don't want to know how she does it because I just love it.
Magic.
Yeah. And so I am so glad that we decided to go all in on Yarn Floozy this year, and it felt like a good choice in my gut. And it's really nice to have something that felt like a good choice in my gut play out. So, long story short, looked at people's Clue 3. A lot of people picked very high contrast yarns for making a shawl that's a gradient. And when you do that with the weaving technique, it just looks messy to me. That's my opinion. This is not a fact. And that didn't work for me. So I didn't want to knit it. Mine is a very subtle gradient from orange to pink. So mine just look like beautiful woven stripes. And it works gorgeously, and it makes so much sense with my center clue. What I love about mine is as I'm adding each element to it, it's becoming clearer and clearer why that clue was like that. And I know that this is a difficult thing to discuss. I'm telling you what I'm doing. No one should be judging anybody for how they're approaching this and what they're doing. You should be doing this to enjoy it yourself, and that's the way that we're talking about it here. End of list. If you want to participate in the knit-along threads and other things on Ravelry, it's important to respect Steven's wishes, as he is the designer of this, and not post photos of that original clue. If you're doing that, then it just becomes, and I think for me, part of what's restored my love for this knit-along is now this just gets to be a project for me. I don't have to share it with anyone. And I get to do it at my pace and how I feel like, and I never get to do that. That's not how my knitting life works, so this is actually really nice.
So what you were talking about Clue 3
Yes.
in particular.
So with the high contrast yarns, Clue 3 looks very stripy and not in a attractive way to me, because the stripes aren't evenly straight. They actually bubble up and down with the slip stitching. When it was in high contrast yarns, it was just too busy and messy for me.
I see what you mean, yeah.
I'll show you a picture of mine when we're done recording, and you'll see it's literally just subtle woven textures.
I looked at the one, because I'm not doing the MKAL, but I've been looking at fast forwarding to the ends of the videos just to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
And it looked kind of like retro feathery kind of
Yeah, I
texture.
love it.
Yeah.
I honestly love it. I'm loving Clue 3, loving the whole shawl. Very proud of Stephen and his work this year. I think he's managed to straddle the divide between accessible knitting that people can do and exciting, interesting things. And that's really difficult. He's hit that sweet spot, I would say, 2 times previously with the Mystery Knit Along, the Marled Magic Shawl and Starflake. And I think that this one, barring the fact that people are going to forget what happened with Clue 1 a couple of years from now, barring what went on with that, I think this is going to go down as one of his best Mystery Knit Alongs.
I do like the fact that it's kind of encouraged people to explore with this one, with what happens. Like, people have chosen
To do their own
journeys,
things. Yes.
and it's quite fun. Like, I get his newsletter, and it has like all these
Cool.
completely different ones.
I get no one's newsletter, just to be clear.
But yeah, some people have come up with some
Except
really
for
cool
Brooklyn Tweet.
ideas of what to do with the middle.
Jared, if you're watching, I read your newsletter. Yeah, I agree. The only ones that I don't like, controversial opinion.
Crochet.
I don't like the crochet
I was
centers.
gonna say that.
Yuck.
There's some really cool like quilt adjacent things, like the log cabin design, and like a
People
few
have
other
just
types.
done great jobs with it,
Yeah.
and I love it.
And that's kind of the spirit of it, right? It's like a mystery fun thing, but
Exactly.
yeah.
Then I'm still working away on this. This is my new hat sample.
Is this cashmere?
This is the cashmere merino from Hedgehog Fiber, and it is not sad. Yeah, it's mind-boggling. You're gonna want to order some.
I think I need a shawl
Yeah,
and everything.
I think I need it. I think
Just
I need
a full body suit.
Yeah, like honestly,
Just some overalls.
I was like, oh no, I'm gonna have so many green jumpers now. Please put me out of misery and buy the green that we have. Great. The other thing that I've gotten done, so this is my High Street hat. I might change the name of this. I meant for this hat to go with this pullover, like it's intentional. They're both in fingering weight. It's not an accident. So this might keep its name the High Street hat, but I'm past the brim portion now because I can fold it up and it looks cute. So now I'm just gonna keep knitting probably about 5 more centimeters and then do the crown shaping.
Is that a ribbed brim and then into stockinette?
No, just rib and rib.
Oh.
Rib, rib, rib. The whole thing's gonna be ribbed. I like an all over ribbed hat.
I want to say something, but it's not appropriate.
Oh no, it's ribbed for my pleasure.
Yeah.
You're welcome, everyone.
How did you know that's
Thank you for
exactly
coming.
what I was
Because there's only 3 jokes that you can
Thank
say
you
with
for
rib.
coming.
Well, I usually say that at the end. Yikes. This is
How's
a good
this
time
going?
to sit down and have a conversation with your children about what happens when 2 men really love each other. There we go. We either just found a new audience or just lost a lot of you, and I'm not taking this out. This is my Bibliophile 3. Alicia, I'm so sorry that was the lead into your thing. If you're watching this, I love your patterns and I think you're wonderful. This is Bibliophile 3. It's in Aspen. It was going really great until I ran out of yarn.
Yeah, we accidentally sold it all.
I didn't set any aside. And I was like, I'm at home and I'm knitting and knitting and knitting. And I looked down and I was in the middle of stopping a row and picked it up to look at it, and the tail like went whoo up into there, and I was like, oh.
There it goes.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to stop until I go in. But this is going really well. I'm glad that I picked everything back up this weekend. I did a lot of finishing last week of other things. I finished Svensson in this. So it was really good to pick up some other things this week and get it done. This, last and not least, this is my High Street pullover. It's new. I just finished it. So this is my new design in Hedgehog Fiber stock. I knit this in Park Life. If you're watching and you're wondering, are you getting more Park Life in? The answer is yes, please God, just give us a hot minute. What seems like a long time for you is a very short time in our world because, I don't know about you, but like each day goes by at about triple the pace of what we're expecting, and yikes. So this is a knit flat stockinette, fully seamed garment with a high crew neck. Has lots of customizable pieces, so you can customize all of the lengths and everything, and then obviously, especially the sleeve length, there's a calculator to help you make good sleeve decisions so you know it's gonna fit even though you're knitting flat and can't try it on. Just remember that if you're trying things on as you knit them, that's only a general idea of what it's gonna be like. You need to remember the differentiation between your blocked and unblocked fabrics, but that's a whole other story, and we can talk about that at another time or every single time that I come on here, most likely. But it's going to be live on Ravelry in 2 weeks. So that's really exciting. Maybe less, depends on how long it takes for me to get photos, which considering I got my haircut yesterday, hopefully will be tomorrow. And then Emily will do her magic on the pattern side of things, and we will get it out to you to enjoy. So please make room in your life for High Street. Even if you don't knit it, buy it, but also knit it.
You could also do a fade with it, right?
You could do a fade with it, and there's instructions of how to do that. You're never going to guess where they are. The Flock online.
Yeah.
Sorry, everyone. And the good news is there's going to be a cardigan version of this sooner rather than later, because one of my intrepid test knitters, the wonderful Morag, was like, I want that, but as a cardigan. And so she has pushed me to get cardigan fronts drafted with a high crew neck, just like this, for all of you. You're welcome.
Excellent.
That was a lot of things. We've both been really productive.
Yes.
So we're going to take a quick break, come back and tell you some of the cool new things that we got from our good friend Lisa F. And a couple of other cute things that we have in shop that you should definitely consider checking out. And then we will be telling you about the upcoming knit-alongs much more thoroughly today. They will make more sense, we promise. Ooh, all right, we'll be right back. Bye-bye. So, you guys might know that we really like Lisa F. Designs. She is undoubtedly the best children's wear designer. I'm going to just be bold. In the world. And she makes amazing things. The great part about Lisa is if you love Lisa's patterns for their simplicity, the ease of knitting, the texture, the cables, all of that, she used to do a lot of garments for adults when she was working for other people. And Lisa has gotten the pattern rights back. Yeah, which means that we have, that's right, a selection of Lisa F patterns just for all of you. And the good news is, I actually, next week, will be ordering the mohair to go with this. The bulky weight mohair to go with this. It's coming from Japan. Brace yourselves. Yes. So
are they like 80s, 90s vintage?
Yes, 80s and 90s. So these are 80s and 90s Crucci patterns that Lisa has gotten the rights to, that she's re-releasing. They're in her standard printed format. They're $9. They're absolutely super fun. So if you're looking for classic little cardigans and other pieces to knit in that bulky weight mohair, this is definitely for you. There are a lot of stunning menswear pieces in there, which
like Aran cables.
Yeah, Aran cables, but with a drop shoulder and deep collar, and just really classic and easy to wear.
Knit flat?
These are all knit flat and seamed, every single one, which I just want to be clear. Fucking love. Thank you, Lisa.
Yeah.
Sometimes it feels like it's just Julie Hoover and I, like, standing on our own, screaming into the void, like, that thing's with me. Anyway, but I love them, and I especially love this, like, sexy Charles Schultz situation. Yeah, right? Oversized, very cute. We're into it. If you need help finding yarns or anything for this, we have got you covered. The other thing that we've started carrying.
Yes.
Now, you might not know this about me, but I like a candle. As in, I mean, I've never spent an egregious amount of money on a candle. Not even one time. Sorry, Mecca. I spend an egregious amount of money on candles, but Emily, being Emily, looked around and found some really amazing hand-poured here in New Zealand candles for us to offer you, which we are really thrilled about. Especially what I have been enjoying, and I don't know if this is what you do with them, but I really love when I'm having quiet at-home knitting or reading time, I genuinely like to light a candle. So what I do is I turn all of the lights very dim, they're never bright anyway, and I light my candle, I get out my book or my knitting, and I sit there and I just set up a really nice space to work in. I arrange all of my beverages, by which I mean about 4, in their various Yeti containers around where I'm sitting. I'm not exaggerating, this is a real story. I make sure that I have all my tools, I line up all my knitting projects on the ottoman. And
alphabetically or by size? Or?
By order in which I feel like I will most likely want to work on them. Yeah. And then I knit for a couple of hours. It's beautiful. I'm just gonna tell you.
Is there an ice cream sandwich involved?
Oftentimes.
We're big fans.
Yeah. Duck Island, if you're watching, please sponsor this podcast. I have spent too much money on your ice cream sandwiches in the last month. I actually looked at it and was like, oh, I need to stop buying ice cream. Like, Duck Island, please sponsor us. If anyone watching knows people at Duck Island, please, God, get like...
And please open a scoop shop in Christchurch.
Please open a scoop shop in Christchurch.
Everyone, write to them.
This is a travesty. There are 500,000 people here who want your ice cream, Duck Island. We'll help you find a place.
Yeah.
There is a spot in the hotel bottom over there. You could fit in there.
Maybe that's not a good idea though. That'd be very close.
Good or
To
bad?
ice cream.
Good or bad? Oh, no. I mean, remember that first week when it was just
Yes.
rollicking every day? Rollicking and cake. That's how this place got open. Rollicking, cake, and butter.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Farrington.
Yeah.
So, new things, beautiful candle selection. There's not a scent that we don't like. I am an
Yes.
especially big fan of this New Zealand Nights, which is going to be the candle that we have lit in the shop going forward.
Mm-hmm. And they're all made in New Zealand,
yeah.
they're made in Queenstown, and each one is, well, most of them are named after places,
Yes.
like New Zealand places.
Yes, so Emily has the Christchurch candle.
Yes.
And I have New Zealand Nights. This is smoky and interesting and a little sweet at the very end.
And I'm quite partial to the Arrowtown one, which is
Yeah.
like blackberry
Yeah.
and stuff. It's
Yeah.
delicious.
I took West Coast home and we don't have any more right now, I'm so sorry, but it is also very good.
Yeah, come and have a sniff.
Come and have a sniff, come check them out, go look her up online. It's Lucy King, they're great.
Yes.
Patterns, great.
Everything.
My habits, very normal and sane. Very normal and sane.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, how many Yeti containers am I currently using? The answer is 2.
Did you notice
A
the
coffee cup.
customer who went with the collar also was a Yeti?
Yes,
enthusiast?
I did, but I don't want to like startle the others. I feel like we have to like find.
Cult.
It's always a cult, and I'm always involved. Yes. So, knit-alongs. We have no props still for this knit-along. What are we doing?
What are you using for yours?
I'm using Yarn Flizzy, but there was an accidental kit selling because Ethan, thought I was clear. I was not clear. I definitely was like, this is for me, and then put it with all of the other kits, and that's my problem. I did that to Emily. Emily didn't do that to me. Let's be clear about how this happened. So,
And I am using Spin Cycle, which is not here yet, but it's due imminently.
yes, momentarily. Yeah.
Actually, probably by next week we'll be able to
Yes,
do it properly.
I thought it would be here this Monday, but this Monday was Labor Day, and apparently it takes 2 weeks for them to sort out all the packages. I find this hard to believe. I'm suspicious. Anyway, but yes, so our 2 knit-alongs that are coming up are for You Rock by Suzanne Summers. It is a I-cord edged brioche and garter stitch shawl that utilizes a fade plus a contrast color. You need 4 skeins of yarn, 3 that fade together, and 1 that creates a contrast at the bottom.
And
Emily,
it has tassels.
and it has tassels, 5 of them, and I made videos all about it, so you're already ready.
Yes.
Oh God. And I-cord cast-on, which I've also already made videos about. You're never gonna guess where all these videos are. Say it with me, everyone. The Flock Online. Womp womp. Okay, great.
I am going to make Alpine Bloom by Caitlin Hunter.
Oh, so sexy.
And I hear tell that she has a new version coming out soon.
Yes, a DK version,
And it's
which will be
long-
way too hot for
long
you.
sleeve, yes. But so we forget about that. But anyway, it does exist.
It does exist, and we have the yarn.
Yes.
And
So-
I'm ready to go. And we're gonna put kits literally the day that comes out. We're gonna be putting out kits. Brace yourselves.
So yes, I am going to use some dyed in the wool for the flowers
So cute.
and some Kiwiana for the body.
Yes.
And I'm very excited. I finally made. Rebecca came in with a new delivery,
Oh, good.
and I was like, "That is
Good.
the color."
The best part about dealing with our local desires, I just pushed 2 words together, our local dyers and mill, is we do regularly just get new, cute, fun stuff. So it's
Yes.
always worth coming in to check out. Yet again, a week has gone by that we've forgotten to tell people about our new product in collaboration with the amazing team at Wild Earth, which is Renew. Renew is something that they have been doing for a little while, but as... Thank you. But as they've built up what they can do and more options, and honestly, their yarn is so great to work with. The Renew 8-ply is their recycled yarn product. So we've worked with them to develop a new label for it and to really take into account the amount of effort and work that they put into this beautiful yarn. So I'm really thrilled, and I'm actually going to be doing a colorwork yoke pattern that's knit bottom up in this yarn. And I'm going to be using Spin Cycle for the colorwork section, which is going to be a really simple geometric shape, which I'm very, very much looking forward to. And that should hopefully be out before Christmas, which means that the new batch of Renew will be in our hands, which means all of you will be able to get it.
Do you know what color Spin Cycle you're going to use?
Ranunculus.
I was going to say a different one.
I was about to start. The other one might be here in time, and I might take a couple of skeins of it to do this. It's that one that starts with a D.
That is what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
same. But like you, mine didn't come, and so I pivoted. Because my immediate response to not having the yarn that I want is to pivot and just do it in something else and give up on joy. Yikes. Anyway, but the Renew is here. It's ready for you. This is $9.50 a ball. It is an 8-ply yarn, so a DK weight with a 4-ply woolen spun construction, and it's fully interchangeable with their Aspen range, which means that you, beautiful people at home, now have options for Douglas cardigans, color work, and all sorts of things to use the gorgeous depth of that Aspen range. And we'll be putting up lots of pattern ideas and suggestions, and maybe even a few cute kit ideas. So, whew, that was a lot. This was an action-packed show for people who talk about knitting and yarn.
Yeah.
All right, if you guys have any other questions or ever need anything from us, please email at getflockedknitting@gmail.com. We are thrilled to hear from you. And if Emily's in, you'll probably get a response on the day of. And if I'm in, you'll probably get a response 2 days later when Emily comes in. So you're welcome. Amazing. Okay,
Yes.
boom. Is that everything?
I think so.
That's everything. All right, we're gonna drop it like it's hot and get out of here.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, yet again, the thing has